What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we are going to be talking about this beautiful beast. This is the Medford Knives Marauder H in 3V blade steel. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So, the Medford Marauder H. Now, when I unboxed this knife, well, you might not have seen that. I'll have it linked down below, but you might as well just watch this one. But I said that I am a huge fan of Medfords. I've only owned a few, or actually one, I guess. This will be the second one. But I really like Greg Medford, and I like big overbuilt knives, right? If you guys watch my channel, you know that. So I had the 187 drop point, DLT exclusive. And I really did love that knife. It was also in 3V blade steel because I just love 3V blade steel, especially for a bigger overbuilt knife. It's just a tougher steel, and I really dig it. I liked the 187, but I ended up trading that or selling it. I can't remember which one. And I knew I wanted another Medford. I want to keep trying different models of Medfords, and so I purchased this one. I'm actually in the middle of maybe doing a trade deal for this because I'm going to try different ones, different Medfords. But it's really hard because I really, really like this model. Now, the Marauder H is a full-size profile Marauder, but it is a hybrid between the slim midi Marauder and the full size. And so overall profile is the same, but the thickness is a little thinner. So you've got 190 thousandths thick blade stock and handle scales. And I believe that the full thickness is 260 thousandths or something like that. So that one's a real thick boy. I wanted to try this one because I thought it would be a good size for me. It's got a few things that I like. I like it being beefy, but it's not, it's not the full thickness, but it's still beefy enough for my big hands. It's got an amazing finger choil here, and it's very comfortable. It's a very neutral handle, but it is very, very comfortable in the hand. It's not the best, okay, but it is comfortable. The pocket clip is done very well. It's nice and flat. Goes in that pocket relatively well. It's got a pretty good bit of retention, and you do hear like a thick, whenever you come out of your pocket. But I like that because it makes me feel like it's not going to come out. It is not deep carry in the least. But with a big knife like this, and really most of my knives, I like to be able to grab and pull it out that way. When you have a deep carry, you're just basically grabbing the clip in that, and sometimes it's just too much. I don't know. I like to pull the knife out this way. I don't care about the knife sticking out of my pocket. I know a lot of people do it. If you are one of those, this is probably not going to be for you. But it does go in and out of pocket relatively well. The ergonomics are great. Well, they're good. They're not great because it is kind of a boxy design. But, I mean, they do have chamfering. Come on, camera. It does have chamfering around all these places. And in the inside, it's a little sharp on where the lock bar is. Right here. I can't get you right there. It's a little sharp right there, but I didn't find that it was, hurting my finger or anything like that. Medfords always need time to break in. My 187 needed time to break in. Broke in relatively quickly. This one, I could do the middle finger flick, but I do have to give it just a little bit of wrist to get it out there. And it's a brand new knife. I did the unboxing and I carried it around the house, and I cut a piece of paper and some cardboard. And because I knew I was going to try to either sell or trade this, I didn't want to do too much because I wanted to be honest whenever I, did that. So, in the pocket, around the house, in the pants that I wear, it did really fine. It's not light, but I mean, look at it. If you think this is light, then you're crazy. So if you are looking at this knife and you're thinking you're going to get a bug out, then you're mistaken. But all in all, it's not ridiculous, right? We'll go over specs and turn the camera around, get a better look like we always do. But this knife, I just think looks good. I think I like this one better than the 187. And the 187 was a big boy as well. I think I like this better. I might try to do the slim midi, the smaller version of this to see how I like it. And you guys know me, I usually like the big knives. But something that I might try. One thing I want to go over before we get to other stuff is the packaging. So in the 187, I got it in a box in a bag. I don't think, yeah, it didn't even come with a pouch or anything. This one, however, comes in this box. America, baby. Medford, USA made, always will be. And then it also comes in their really nice premium little Pelican style case. It's really well made. It comes with a really nice thing of stickers and a really, really nice patch. I love that patch. It comes with your warranty information. And then, of course, you have your certificate of authenticity. This one is a Marauder H 3V. It is the bronze titanium anno. And let's see, this one was made January 2nd, 2021. So, and I bought it a few weeks back. So it's a new knife, and I really, really like it. Now, one thing I want to talk about and get this out of the way. Some people say that Medfords don't cut. I talked about this in my unboxing. This knife, 3V blade steel, and an amazing hollow grind. You see the grind lines there. They just do an excellent freaking job. Holy crap, this is, like, lighting's being weird. They do an excellent job with their grind lines. This one has a really nice hollow grind. And guys, it's like 28 thousandths behind the edge. So it's not the thinnest and it's not the thickest that I've had. And I'm not going to do my normal cutting because I've already done that. And like I said, I don't want to cut anything else that I don't have to, but I'm going to do this. And I just want you to see something. That is a slicey blade. This thing slices like crazy. So anybody who will tell you that Medfords don't cut are lying, and they've never handled a Medford. Now, you know, the Praetorian, all those, you know, the thicker blades, they're different, you know, but my 187 was 187 thousandths thick, and it did the same thing. They do such a great job sharpening their knives from factory, the hollow grind. It's just an amazing cutter, guys. And yeah, so I just want to stress that this thing is a dream to cut with. It's a tool. Greg Medford, knife and tool is what he makes, and he has, you know, been in business out of Arizona for, hell, I don't even know, 8 years, 10 years, might be more than that. I don't really know, but I'm very impressed with his work. They are just really overbuilt knives. You can see there is your big oversized pivot. Yes, it does have proprietary hardware, but we'll get into that. Oversized hardware here, but those are Torx. You have a little stabby backspacer for a little, you know, just a little skull crushing. And it does have a little lanyard hole loop, whatever you want to call it. I don't use lanyards all often, so yeah. It does not have a lock bar insert. It is carbonized titanium, and I want to say, I think I'm saying that right. It locks up like a bank vault, which all Medfords do. I mean, I like to middle finger flick my knives just like that. But I also like on a Medford, when I slow roll it, oh, that click, that lock up, you really feel, bam, it is there and it ain't going anywhere. I really dig that about Medfords, all of them that I have handled, which, like I said, I've only owned a couple, but I have handled the Praetorian and a few others on the channel so far, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, it does have another good thing. Another thing that I love on big overbuilt knives is these external blade stops. As you can see, they are not thumb studs. They are external blade stops, which help, obviously, with the lockup. And it's locked up so solid, you ain't moving it. Let me tell you now. You, like I said, some external external blade stops you can use as a thumb disc. You can't do it on this one, so because it sits way too high. But I don't mind that because my preferred way, you guys know, is do the middle finger flick and it just a little bit of wrist. And I think it will break in where you don't have to do that because my 187 did. But this one I like more than that. I love the color. They come in a variety of different colors as far as the anno. You can get them sculpted, and when they are done like that, you know, I think you know, obviously the price goes up, but these things aren't cheap because it's a hybrid. The Marauder H is actually more expensive than the regular Marauder or the Slim Midi. These things are like $735 brand new. A lot of people think that that's crazy. You know, I get it. It's a lot of money. There's a lot of other knives that you can get with a lot of bells and whistles. This one is not running on bearings. It's running on washers because it is a work knife. But you know, it's kind of to whatever you want. I mean, it is definitely worth that because they sell them all the time. Would I like to see the price, you know, more towards what the Slim Midi cost? Yeah, I would. But holy crap, do I just think they do excellent work. I love the stone washing they do. Their stone washing is very heavy. You see that? This is a brand new knife, and you can see that very heavy stone wash. The reason I like that, guys, is because these knives are made to work. That hides wear really well. So I dig that. I love stone wash blades. Now on this one, it is a satin blade. And you can, but it's also been stone washed lightly. You can kind of tell, and you can tell inside the blade fuller. Now the blade fuller, I think, is in a perfect spot. It's really long. I think it looks really good, and it just allows you to, which I think the fuller is different on some of the other models. But I can't remember exactly what the difference is. But the fuller is different on the Slim Midi, I think, than it is on the Marauder H like this one. But yeah, it's really nice. It's got, at the bottom of it, it is rounded. It's not just a square pocket. They use like a ball nose end mill. So it doesn't really tear up your fingernail. I just like it. So as you can see, the closing action, because it is on washers, it's not a fall shut, okay? So what I usually do is I grab it like that and just give it a shake. It comes right in. You can see the detent. Suck that thing in. It's not a strong detent because you use your middle finger, but it's a strong enough detent. Oh, there we go. So I can usually get any knife out, but it's a strong enough detent to where it's not like, easily getting out of there. I think I probably would like it to be just a little bit stronger, but I understand why they did it because it's a slow roll or a middle finger flick knife. So I have to give it a pass on that. I'm not too much of a detent snob unless it is just ridiculously light, which the only knife that I have right now that is like that is this guy. This is the Artisan Cutlery Osprey, and yeah, it's like the weakest detent that I've ever felt on a knife. But I still like it because I love those big cleaver blades. So yeah, let's see here. Let's go ahead, turn the camera around. We'll get some specs for you and also some size comparisons because it's a big boy. I like the big knives. You guys know that. We'll put it next to some other ones and then get you a kind of a closer look at this PVD hardware, the tumbling finish, the pocket clip, and everything that goes with it. Boom. All right. So here is another good close-up of that Stonewash Bronze Titanium. I love this color. It is my absolute favorite color for an anodized titanium handle. There is your, golly, come on, camera. There is your oversized hardware, your lanyard hole, and your backspacer, skull crusher, whatever you like. Here's your pocket clip, MKT, Medford knife and tool. Gee whiz, man. Do it, camera. Do it. Do it. Man, this is pissing me off. But there is your pivot. Okay, so it is a proprietary pivot. Medford's warranty. Everybody used to talk about how bad it was. They don't want you taking the knives apart and all that stuff. But Greg, from what I understand, and I actually called the shop in Arizona and talked to Amy, which is Greg's wife, and she basically runs the place. Talk to them about that, and they are really good guys as far as, as long as you don't do anything stupid with a knife, they're going to work with you. And so they build really, really tough knives and very low maintenance knives, but a lot of us knife guys like to take apart the knives and do that kind of thing. So they are very good at working with you, but you got to be able to know what you're doing a little bit and not screw up, right? So look at this blade. Oh, I love the grind lines. This hollow grind is just so freaking sweet. There's your Medford logo with the 3, which means 3V. They also have an S for S35VN and then a 9 for S90V. That is usually the blade steels that they like to go with. You do have a serial number on this side. and I believe it's on the inside of this thing, but of course I didn't take it apart, and I'm not gonna. There's your lockup, there is your clearance, and your little cutout for the lock bar. Like I said, it is not rounded off right there, so it is a tad bit sharp, but it doesn't hurt my finger because there is absolutely no lock stick on this guy, and it is super duper freaking smooth. You know, it's not fall shut like I said, but man, is it smooth, as it has the oversized phosphor bronze washers. So what are we looking at? Look at this thing. It's big, right? So what are we looking at? It is 9¼ inches overall length. That's my kind of knife, right? It is a 4.25 inch blade with a 3.625 inch cutting edge. The blade thickness is 190 thousandths, like I said, as well as the handle scales, which puts it at about 610 thousandths of the thickness this way. So it is definitely a thick guy, but not the thickest. It is obviously a drop point, and this one is about 28 thousandths, like I said, behind the edge. And let's see what it weighs, because everybody's going to want to know that. And yep, it is not light. But you guys know me, I don't care about that stuff, but a lot of you do. So let's see what it is. Hey, just under 9 ounces. Yeah, that's heavy. You're going to feel it in your pocket. But I've also got other knives, which I'll do a size comparison in a minute, that is a lot more than that. So it's just kind of what you like, guys. And I like the big ones. So let's put it up against some other ones, all right? So first off, I want to put it up against one of my favorite hard-working knives. This is the Cold Steel AD10. Definitely a little bit shorter, very comfortable handle on the AD10 because of the contoured G10 handles. This one is definitely flatter, a little bit sharper, so it is not as comfortable as the AD10. But as far as build quality, this one is built like a tank, but this one I believe would outlast it all day, every day, as far as not being able to break this thing. Now, this does have the triad lock, so well, I take that back as far as break, because the triad lock is so damn tough. We all know that. But as far as just overbuilt badassery, this one takes the cake. But it's just not near as comfortable as the AD10. The knife I was talking to you about, that it weighs a ton, and I love it. Here it is against the Midgard's Messer Viking. So yeah, definitely a little bit bigger than the Marauder H. But as you can see, they are similar as far as build quality and design. Big old thick slabs of titanium here and blade. This one happens to be in CPM D2. So obviously a much better steel on the Medford. But, you know, this is very Medford-esque, you know, kind of looks maybe like the Praetorian, right? But boy, do I love this blade. But yeah, I mean, as far as overall length, just a little bit smaller than the Midgard's Messer Viking, but not by much, right? So let's put it up against a couple of other larger blades, but not quite as large as this. Here it is against the Koenig Arius, and here it is against the Spartan Harsey Folder. Now, the Spartan Harsey Folder is more of a hard-use knife, in my opinion, than the Koenig Arius, but as you can see, it is definitely a thinner profile and just a tad bit shorter than the Medford. You know, you still have kind of a similar build quality, right? As far as the titanium, the steel, and yeah, I absolutely love these knives. But, you know, American-made products here, guys. All of these by Spartan Blades, Medford, and the Koenig Arius. These three manufacturers are absolutely excellent, and you can't go wrong with any of them. But if you want huge built, or huge, overbuilt badassery of knives, you got to look at a Medford. Medfords are notorious for that, and Greg Medford, he is not shy about what he believes, right? A lot of people take that the wrong way. It kind of rubs people the wrong way because he's very loud and opinionated. I happen to agree with him on quite a few things because I love freedom, and so does he. However, you cannot deny the build quality of a Medford. Now, some of their models I'm not too keen on, and I probably won't buy, but there are a lot of others that I'm definitely going to get on the channel and try because I think he does that good of a job. So yeah, that's about it, guys. If you have any questions on this, definitely hit me up. I am not a Medford authority or anything like that. All I can say is I love their knives. This one is absolutely my favorite so far in the Medford lineup that I have tried. So if that tells you anything, if you're looking for this, I will put some links down below because I think these are still available on quite a few different websites. My favorite website for Medfords so far has been DLT Trading, so I will see if I can do that. Guys, stay safe in this crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.